Give me the next 3 minutes. I'm going to show you a simple one-page script that will eliminate 99% of the communication problems that you're having with your spouse, as well as the top 10 habits that every husband or father should be doing daily if they want their wife to trust them again and see them as the leader that they secretly yearn. My name is Joel Evan. I'm a best-selling author, former first responder of 15 years, and I've been with my wife for 15 years, and I have 2 young boys. And after 10 years of marriage, my marriage was on the brink of divorce, but I was able to radically change it in just 3 months. And now here's the crazy thing. Prior to changing my marriage and my fatherhood, I was already a life coach. I was already someone who had invested hundreds of thousands of dollars in personal development. I'd done 4 years of therapy. I've done neurofeedback, and yet still my marriage and connection with my kids sucked. I thought I had done it all. And really, I felt like there was nothing else left to be done. I had reached this point where I really believed that my wife and kids were the problem, and there was nothing else left to be done. But boy, was I wrong. And I realized after my own transformation that there was an actual framework or a system that could be replicated and could be done with all men. Because what I realized is marriage is a skill, fatherhood is a skill, and it's just like going to the gym to get fit, or if you're starting a business, you need the right skills, the right strategies, and consistent follow through to achieve long-lasting success. And that's what I'm on a mission to do right now, to help men build unshakable marriages and deeper connection with their kids. Most of the men that I meet, they're entrepreneurs, they're go-getters. They are crushing it in their business and they're trying to change the world, but they're struggling in their marriage and their family life. And along the journey, most guys are hit with this realization that they have zero connection with their wife or kids. And they don't even know where to start. And their wives will say things like, I care for you, but I just don't love you. And inevitably, what these guys tend to do is they tend to double down on the things that they believe will restore connection and intimacy with their wife, such as being a great provider, giving them all they need, going on more vacations, or planning a once-a-week date night. But none of this stuff works. And unfortunately, this is the normal response that most men have learned, and they spend 80% of their time on these types of things, which just keeps them stuck, more mistakes get made, and they feel overwhelmed. It's a vicious cycle. And after working with hundreds of men, speaking with divorce attorneys, and interviewing experts like John Gray, author of Men Are From Mars and Women Are From Venus, the number one thing that leads to separation or divorce is a breakdown in communication. The other thing that I see lacking in 90% of the men that I coach is that they're typically leaders at work, but not at their home. And so they have 2 big problems. Number 1, they don't know how to communicate effectively. And number 2, their woman doesn't trust them because they haven't been leading in the home the way they should. This is why I created a simple 1-page PDF. It outlines the step-by-step process, the communication formula that I use, and the top 10 habits that I think and believe all men, including myself, that we use on a daily basis to ensure that we're following through and exemplifying leadership in the home. And this works because times have changed. Women don't need you to just be the conqueror and the provider anymore. They can go out and get their own jobs. They can provide for themselves. They actually want to be seen. They want to be felt. They want to be heard regularly, not just on some once-a-year vacation. And they also want a man to lead in the marriage and follow through what they say. They're tired of talking. They want action. And so the only way to be a good leader is to first have mastered yourself so that you can actually go out and lead others. And that's why I created an elite dad habit stack that if you actually did daily, it would probably solve 90% of your problems. Now, one of the easiest ways that you can restore connection and intimacy and cut off a lot of the regular bickering and arguing that you encounter is by having regular check-ins that don't end up in more arguments and resentment. So the communication formula that I created, it takes you through the exact step-by-step process and the right questions to ask your spouse that not only create more connection, but they're set up in a way that makes it impossible to actually argue with each other. So if you're interested in this free resource, just drop me a line below this video and I will get it to you.